You should try this. Make crispy pork bellies with me.
You want to start by boiling water. I added salt, pepper, and then I did about a quarter to half a teaspoon of onion powder. And then I did about half, maybe, of a teaspoon of paprika. And then I just used those to kind of season the water, because you want to boil the pork bellies so that way you make the meat tender, so that when it's being fried, it gets really, really crispy and you get the most tender meats. And then just added these in, and I just grabbed whatever we had that was in the drawer, so I just had a fork to kind of put these in the pot, so I had to stab them with the fork and kind of get them in there, give them a nice little jiggle to put them in the pot. And then after just a couple minutes, this is what they're supposed to look like, already getting a little bit tender, looking nice, looking fine. And then you want to turn down your heat to just about a simmer. Then I put the pot on. You don't want it to boil the meat. You want to simmer your meat. Give it a little pat, pat, pat. And then let it boil for about maybe 30-35 minutes. Careful. Don't want to hurt yourself with that boiling water, you know. So you got to be careful taking them out. Super hot. This is what they're supposed to look like. Look at how tender those bitches look. I'm so excited for these. They came out so good. I found lard at the store, by the way. I didn't think that I was going to find this because the recipe said to use lard. And I did not know how much to use, so I started to just put those bitches in the pot. I used 4, and I kind of wanted to fill it about halfway, about right here. And I didn't know, it was already about filled right here. I definitely did not need to add a fifth block of lard. But once it's all fully melted, that's when you want to add in your slices of pork belly. So add them in very gently, because after you get them all melted, you want to let it sit there, get it all hot so it's bubbling. Look like bubbling right there. So you want to make sure it's nice and hot. Give those bitches a little jiggle in the pot. Be very careful putting them in there. I cannot stress this enough. Do not hurt yourself. And I put them skin side down so that they get nice and crispy on the skin side. Bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. Put the lid on top. Give it a nice little pat, pat, pat. 6:45, you want to cook those for about an hour, 45 minutes. I cooked them for a little bit over an hour. Look at how crispy those look. Oh my god. So look at those. The skin nice and crispy. Oh, it just looks like bacon to me. That's why I love pork belly so much. It's just like big things of bacon, like big slabs of bacon. Look at that. Oh my god. And it's on the bone too. Like, eat it like a rib. I was so excited for these 2 pieces right here. Look at those crispy little bubbles on this. This was my favorite piece. I claimed this piece. And look at how these came out, all nice and crispy. Oh, the color on like the fatty part is so beautiful. But we're not done. You want to turn your oven on high, or the stove on high. Let that cook for a couple more minutes to get a little bit hotter, and then we're going to put the pork bellies back in the pot to get the skin a little bit more crispy. We want it to bubble up a little bit more, but I think it's because I used, I think this is a copper pot, like one of those non-stick ones, and you're supposed to use a cast iron one. But this is, I put them all skin side down. I tried to get a sound, but I had the vent on because it was a little smoky, so you couldn't hear it. But skin side down, put them in a little bit more for about 5 more minutes. I put the lid on. Hear that? Crispy, crispy. Oh, it's popping. Ready?
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
My mother-in-law. And then these are what they look like when they're all coming out. I just take them out of the pot and arrange them. You want to let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, because these are going to be super, super hot. Super, super hot. Look how crispy, crispy, crispy. Oh my god, just wait until you hear the crunch. And you know how when people run the knife over it and it gets that nice crispy sound?